Hey guys, I'm Alistair and this is the Salomon S Lab Genesis. Yes, I know I'm about 2 years too late on this one, but I have had a lot of requests from you guys out there wanting me to review this shoe ever since I put out my review of the Sportiva Prodigio Pro. Because yes, there's a lot of similarities between that running shoe and this one. But actually when it comes to performance, yes, they're both fantastic. But there are some key differences that you should know about these two trail running shoes. The Salomon S Lab Genesis is an all-mountain trail running shoe, but it's also a race day shoe. So if you do want to be taking on distances all the way up to ultra distance, and you want a lightweight, snappy, responsive trail running shoe that can actually handle pretty much any types of terrain, not all by the way, then the Salomon S Lab Genesis is the shoe for you. But stick with me, I want to explain where this one performs well, but also where it could be improved. All right, as always, let's kick off with the key specifications. They cost $200, which is a lot of money for an all-mountain trail running shoe, but this one is designed to really go from training all the way to race day and give you a pretty fantastic experience throughout. So I will let you know by the end of this review if I believe they're worth that high price tag. They weigh 9 ounces or 255 grams for a size US men's 9. That's my pair. That is very lightweight for an all-mountain trail running shoe that is kind of designed to be able to do everything really well. They have an 8mm drop from heel to toe. Yeah, I know, that surprised me too at first. For a S Lab running shoe, I would have expected a lower drop, but actually this does feel lower than 8mm. It feels more like a, I don't know, 5mm probably. The upper is using matrix material, which is fantastic. I've reviewed many trail running shoes using matrix now. The fit of it is just fantastic, but it's incredibly durable and also very breathable as well. It is one of those best-in-class running technologies right now for upper meshes. And for good reason, it just performs really well. This one's also got an EndoFit internal sleeve, which is kind of like a sock-like interior which wraps around your foot, cradles it, gives it a nice comforting fit. But that sock doesn't extend all the way across the shoe. It is kind of left out over the toe box, which is really cool because if there was a sock here, that sock material, which you see this kind of mauve color here, if that was over the toe box, that would mean the shoe wouldn't have any breathability at all. It's also got a built-in stretchy gaiter which kind of conforms around your top of your foot, and you see that around collars and the heel counter. Works really well, but I do recommend wearing crew socks with this one. If this material is going to be touching bare skin for long periods of time, you might start to feel that rubbing and it might give you some pressure points there. So definitely make sure your socks are extended past this gaiter upper. The midsole is using Salomon's Opti-Foam, which is their lightweight EVA foam. It is really lightweight, and I like the fact it's got a good amount of cushioning, but also fantastic response. Response is crucial if you want control on the trails because it allows you to adapt to the changing technical terrain that's coming at you fast. So the midsole has a really fantastic balance. I really like this medial support that you've got on the inside of the shoe. That kind of just cradles your foot a little bit, locks it in place even better. And you'll see there's one on the outside edge of the shoe as well. The outsole is using all-terrain contour grip with 4.5mm lugs. Very aggressive lugs, and in most conditions that works really, really well. The only thing I will say though, if you are going to be running on wet, slick rocks, watch out for the contour grip demon. It might get you in those conditions. It's just something that contour grip hasn't been that good at in the past. It still isn't. That's where Vibrant Mega Grip kind of takes the win in terms of rubber compound with fantastic traction. It kind of works on every kind of terrain. But Contour Grip is fantastic on most terrain, just not wet slick rocks. Beware. And then the extra attributes are a nice lace garage on the tongue, which is where you put the cool quick lace system. Once you've done it up, you just store it in that little garage under the tongue, and it keeps the lacing system out of the way, so reduces the chances of it being snagged on the trails and just stops it flapping around when you're running. It's really tidy. I just love how the shoe looks when it's all done up nicely and stowed away in the garage. It's also got a semi-protective toe bumper, so if you do stub your foot on any rocks or roots, it's pretty much got you protected, but it's semi-protective, meaning there is a little bit of give in there, so it's not as protective on the top, but at the front, it's got you. When it comes to sizing and fit, the S-Lab Genesis definitely fits true to size in length, but it does have a pretty narrow midfoot, and I very much felt the medial arch underfoot in that midfoot area the first time I went running in it, but after about, I don't know, 4 kilometers or so, that actually kind of just loosened up and faded away, and I haven't really felt it since. Just something to be aware of, but if it's not painful, just run through it for a few kilometers and I'm pretty sure it'll fade away for you too. It has a fantastic heel lock and super secure fit, and I put it down to this sock-like upper and quick lace lacing system. It actually reminds me a lot of the Sportiva Prodigio Pro, which also has a one-piece sock-like upper. And actually very, very similar ride. So if you're intrigued about this one, definitely watch my review of that one next. If you're enjoying this review so far, remember, hit that like button. Really appreciate it when you guys do that. And comment on this video. That really helps my channel out. And I personally really like that because it lets me know I'm actually fostering a community. That's really what I want to get out of this channel. I want to get you lined up with the best running shoes and gear that suits you, your foot shape, your body shape, and the type of running that you like to do. So make sure you comment, let me know who you are, let me know where you're watching from, let me know if you're enjoying this video, let me know if you want to see any other types of videos from me. Maybe you want to see more of my training insights, or more roundups, or more advice videos. Just let me know, get the conversation going down in those comments. And if you're wondering why I sound like Kermit the Frog today, it's because I've got an absolutely stinking cold. I picked it up off my 2-year-old son, Seb, probably because he likes sticking his fingers in my mouth. Either way, that's probably too much information for you, but if you're wondering why the Kermit, that's why. Oh, and if you're wondering where this one places in my best all-mountain trail running shoes roundup right now, then definitely head up there or follow the link in description, which will point you to my best all-mountain trail running shoes roundup on alistairrunning.com. Congrats, you made it to my performance review. First off, I'm going to start with the upper because there's a heck of a lot going on here, and I feel like this is one of the key features that really make the shoe stand out from anything else out there right now. The sock-like upper and quick lacing system just really do allow you to dial in that fit so much better than most other all-mountain trail running shoes out there right now. And it lets you dial in that fit super quickly. And I love the fact you can just stow away the laces in the garage once you're done, meaning it doesn't flap around, doesn't get snagged on the trails, and the shoes look really tidy when that's away. The built-in gaiter does a great job of keeping particles like sand and dust and just trail debris from getting in the shoe around the collars and the heel counter, because it just wraps around the top of your foot really, really well. But one thing to note is that really fine debris can still get in the shoe over the toe box area because there's no layer of kind of filtering when it comes to fine particles there. But that's good because it keeps the shoe very breathable. If you did have an extra layer here, then the shoe would have no breathability at all, and you'd probably be struggling on hot days. I also really like the support or stability features that you've got on the medial here. You've got a nice kind of high wall and a high wall here, which is just more supportive, and it's made of a foam as well. And that just cradles your foot. It locks it in place, giving you extra stability and helps reducing the chances of getting lateral roll or rolling an ankle whilst running on technical terrain. And that brings me round to how the ride of this shoe performs. What the ride is like. Well, it is absolutely fantastic. The Omni foam midsole foam that's being used has a really great balance. It's very cushioned, not overly cushioned by any means. You can still feel the trail beneath you, and there's a little bit of firmness there, but that gives you good control. It allows you to stay connected to the trail, and that gives you confidence when you're running on technical terrain. But it's not crazy firm where you're feeling every pounding feeling or stride that you get if you are running on rocky terrain or harder surfaces like gravel paths, fire roads, or buff terrain. You still get some cushioning from that midsole. So it's a really fantastic balance. And when I say balance, I'm calling it a balance because it gives you a really good response as well. So when you do flex the shoe, you get a good amount of pop as you do transition from toe off. You get a great amount of energy stored, making this a really fast trail running shoe as well. So this is going to be for probably middle of the pack runners or anyone who is actually going to be competing to try and win that trail race. And it's great for kind of any distance really because of that good amount of cushioning in the midsole, but also the fact you do have control and great flexibility across the shoe that it just allows you to run fast on technical terrain. I feel like I'm just throwing myself down steep technical descents because I know I've got confidence in the shoe. And that's something you just learn when you do run in different types of running shoes or trail running shoes. You kind of get a feel for what has good stability and what's actually going to give you good traction and control and adaptability on different types of terrain. You kind of learn that very quickly if you do gain experience in different shoes. And this is just one of those shoes that, because it has that balance in the midsole and the stack height isn't too high, you're close to the trail, you're close to the ground, you're staying connected. You can just do whatever you want out on the trails and not worry about if you're going to trip over, roll an ankle or slip. And that brings me round to the outsole. On most terrain and steep inclines, steep declines, the traction pattern, the lugs on here is fantastic. It gives you really good bite into the trail. So if you are running up steep inclines, it's got your back, claws in and allows you to really power on up that hill. And the same goes for when you're going downhill. This kind of lug patterns point the other way. So it kind of catches you when you're running down steep declines, catches you at the midfoot and the heel area, which I really like. And on most terrain, this works fantastic. But I mentioned this earlier, if you're going to be running on slick, wet terrain, so slick, wet rocks really, contact grip isn't the best. It never has been for that kind of terrain. So just watch yourself on those kinds of sections of trails if you are racing. Just take those sections a little bit slower. But no, on other types of terrain and in other conditions, the traction is absolutely fantastic. Right now, I'm having a hard time deciding which one I prefer out of this one and the Sportiva Prodigio Pro. The more I run in this one, the more I start preferring the S-Lab Genesis. The fit is just really, really dialed in. It's very lightweight, and I feel like maybe I've got a little bit more control in this one. But then I start thinking, oh, what if it starts raining and I've got some wet, slick rock areas in my trail race? Then which one would I choose? Well, I think I might choose the Sportiva Prodigio Pro. By the way, both are fantastic at running ultra marathons and on technical terrain in general. So it really is a toss-up on what kind of sections of trail you might encounter on your run as to which one you might go for. What's my final verdict on the Salomon S Genesis then? Well, I absolutely love these. Are they going to be worth $200? For me, 100%. I absolutely love running in these. I like to run fast on steep declines, but also steep ascents, I like to run technical trails, and I like to run short and long ultra races. So I kind of just like any type of running, whether it's road or trail running, any distance, any technicality. I just love being out there and moving. So I need a shoe that kind of does it all really well, has a lightweight frame, it's responsive, cushioned, and allows me to feel confident knowing I've got total control on the trails. And yes, Lab Genesis is very much one of those trail running shoes. So yes, it's worth $200 for me. But like I said, if you're someone who's not as interested in really pushing the pace out there as much as you can, then you might want a slightly higher stack height running shoe, one that's going to give you more comfort, but still give you good control on technical trails. So depending on what type of running you are, definitely check out my best all-mountain trail running shoes. Roundup up there and the links in the description. That should help get you lined up with the best ones for you. Once again, if you enjoyed this review, please give it a like if you didn't before, and subscribe to my channel for more running shoe reviews just like this one. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.